I'm Professor Jayant Vaidya, and I shall now highlight our new research in radiotherapy for breast cancer. A bit of history. In 2012, San Antonio Breast Cancer Conference, we first presented the 5-year survival data from the TARGIT-A trial. In this multi-center randomized trial of 3,451 patients, we found that when single-dose targeted intraoperative radiotherapy, TARGIT-IORT, is given during lumpectomy as part of a risk-adapted approach, breast cancer control and mortality was not statistically different from whole breast radiotherapy given over several weeks. Interestingly, we found that with TARGIT-IORT, there were significantly fewer deaths from causes other than breast cancer. As can be seen in these Kaplan-Meier plots, there was a significant reduction in non-breast cancer mortality, leading to a trend in improved survival with target. Is this plausible? Well, it seems to be. In 2013, it was shown in a large study that cardiac toxicity from whole breast radiation starts appearing in the first 5 years. It is possible that in older studies, the high breast cancer mortality in the first 5 to 10 years, that is 50 to 70%, could have masked any small effect of radiation on non-breast cancer mortality. And sensitive imaging can demonstrate cardiac dysfunction within a few weeks of starting. So the background of this study. Mortality from breast cancer has been steadily falling. Therefore, we need to focus on reducing toxicity of treatments, which could have much more impact now than before. After breast-conserving therapy, restricting the radiation to the tumor bed has been proposed based on the rationale that clinicopathological studies and the results of randomized trials show that local recurrence predominantly occurs in the site of the primary tumor. Most forms of PBI, therefore, do not irradiate the remaining breast and may spare. We performed a meta-analysis of partial breast radiation versus whole breast radiation for the outcome. We searched the literature for published randomized trials comparing PBI alone or as part of risk-adapted approach with WBI after breast-conserving therapy. In each trial, we calculated the proportion of patients who had an event in each randomized arm at the median follow-up of 5 years and created a forest plot using Stata version 14.1. It was agreed by the peer reviewers that the random effects model is the most appropriate for this analysis. However, we found 9 randomized control trials of PBI versus WBI after breast-conserving therapy. Non-breast cancer mortality information was available in 5 trials and breast cancer mortality information in 4 trials. We found no heterogeneity between the trials for any of the outcomes. Overall mortality was 4.9%. No difference was seen in breast cancer mortality with a p-value of 0.99. PBI was better than WBI for non-breast cancer mortality with a p-value of 0.023. PBI was also better than whole breast radiotherapy for overall mortality with a p-value of. So this is the forest plot. As you can see, there are 4,200 to 4,400 patients in these randomized trials. In these trials, PBI was given either as external beam radiation therapy given every day for several weeks, or by interstitial radiotherapy using radioactive wires inserted in the breast and radiation delivered every day for several days, or as IORT, either as Elliott protocol or as the risk-adapted approach using TARGIT-IORT, which appears to be the most convenient for the patient and least expensive to the healthcare system. The meta-analysis, as you can see from this plot, demonstrated a significant reduction in non-breast cancer mortality, no difference in breast cancer mortality, and a reduction in overall mortality favoring partial. So what are the implications of this research? It is now clear that in suitable patients, using PBI instead of WBI as part of breast-conserving therapy lowers non-breast cancer and overall mortality. Although small in absolute terms, in such patients with relatively good prognosis, it amounts to a 25% relative reduction in overall mortality and can no longer be ignored. This information must be included when breast-conserving therapy is discussed with a patient.